Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first race of the season, season number 3 in the Ratfink Racing League Truck Series, live from Daytona. No better place to kick off a season than the palm trees and sunshine in the high banks of this legacy track. I am William Tiller. I am joined up here by the man always working 2 jobs, Jacob Williams, lead producer and commentator on this broadcast. And Jacob, we had a heck of a season last season, season number 2, that came all the way down to that final race. Now we get to kick off the season with some new names in the mix, and it's time to defend that title.
Yes, sir. And for everyone who is kind of tuning in for their first time, Mr. Jordan Trice was our season 2 winner of the truck season of last season. And with that, we currently have, I want to say, roughly 43 guys out on the track right now. So there is a lot of new names this season. So it's going to be a heck of a shakeup, hopefully through the course of this season we got going on.
Absolutely. 150 laps here at Daytona. If you've never joined us before, there are no fast repairs here in the Ratfink Racing League. That means if your favorite driver takes on some damage, they got to either make it down pit road or their race is essentially over. Here in the trucks, we do 3 sets of tires and only 2 attempts at overtime. So who knows here in this first race of the season how many attempts we're going to need. On that second one, the race is all wrapped up. Jacob, as you mentioned, a lot of new names here in this field here tonight. We had some knockout qualifying. We had so many entries into this season opener, but the starting grid has been formed, and it is time to run you through the starting grid of the first race of the Ratfink Racing League Truck Series season number 3. Rolling off in the pole position, 2 new names on the front row. We have Paul White and Jim Smith. On row number 2, a new name as well. We have Tony Brent and Nate Lesko. Good to see Nate back in the mix. Next row, we have Dakota Reeder and Anthony Harden. Right next to them, we have Brandon Hinton and Justin Carey. Our top 10 is rounded out by Colton Miller and Jeffrey Goodpaster. Take it away, Jacob.
In row number 7, we have Todd Parent and Jeffrey Goodpaster. In row number 8, we have Jim Jackson and Matt Morrison. In row number 9, we have David McConnell and Jonathan McIntosh. Row number 10, David Hickey and Will Weber. Row number 11, Izzy Lopez and Ronald Hall. In row number 12, Brandon Yates and Thomas Wynn. Row 13, we have Jonathan Burt and Herberly Telemock. Row 14, we have Tyler Jones and David Bersecki. In row 15, we have Andy Bowman and Tony Burleson. Row 16, we have Tyler Waltz and Zachary Wynn. Row 17, we have White Lightning himself, Victor Etheridge and Cameron Gully. Row 18, we have Daniel McConnell and Brent Thompson. In row number 19, Sean Dion and our Season 2 champion, Jordan Trice. In row 20, we have Tom Ringer and John Crosby. In row 21, we have Tanner Honeycutt and Colton Jackson. In row 22, we have Cody Deek to finish out the grid.
43 trucks to kick off the season here in season number 3. of the Ratfink Racing League Truck Series. As the lights are off of the pace car, we're ready to go rocking and rolling as we're down the backstretch here, Jacob. As we're waiting to go green, looking at some of those names from last year. Dakota Reeder is going to start inside of the top 10. Looking at Jesse Gordon, one of those names we were watching out for here in this series. Anthony Harden did great to end the season last year. Brandon Hinton's coming off a big win at Talladega not too long ago in the Next Gens. Watch out for some of these names coming down the stretch here. We want to appreciate everybody for watching along here in this season opening race. Jacob, I cannot wait to get things started.
Ooh, it's going to be a big field, so hopefully we can keep it clean for the majority of the race. But, you know, with a 43 truck field, man, it's going to get pretty intense. Hopefully we can keep the cautions to a minimum. Looks like everyone's getting bunched up right now, so this is what we've been waiting for all day long. I know that I have. Man, I'm super excited.
It's time. We've been waiting. Season 3 is about to begin under the palm trees and sunshine of Daytona. The green flag is in the air. Paul White, Jim Smith takes us roaring into one as season number 3 is officially kicked off.
Ooh, everyone's bunched up right now. Right now you got, man, there's too many names. Too many names right now. I can't even go side by side and start naming everyone at this point. Let's just start from the top. You know, out front we have Paul White, Dakota Reeder, and then Jim Smith, and then Tony Brent right there on the outside. Whew.
Pretty clean down the backstretch so far here on lap number 1. It's going to take these trucks just a little while to get warmed up. As you see that bump on the low side of the racetrack, that's the 85 of Dakota Reeder. Right behind him, you have Anthony Harden in that John Deere paint scheme. Jesse Gordon right behind him as well in what we like to call the Batmobile. As the field comes roaring past us, lap number 1 in the books.
Ooh, man, keeping it clean, awesome. You know, out the gate, lap number 1 in the books. No caution, keeping it clean. And then, as always, we always like to give everyone a special shout-out whenever we get the chance and the opportunity. You know, Mama Win every single race, always tunes in. Shout-out to Thomas Wynn. Tomorrow's his birthday, so shout-out to him and happy early birthday to him.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, Thomas Wynn. Hopefully he can come home with a checkered flag here tonight. That would be a great birthday as the field comes roaring into 3 and 4. As you mentioned, Jacob, it's just a little game of give and take so far. Just a few laps into this race. You're trying to get comfortable, trying to get those tires warmed up. Not much separation in the field so far as we're calm, cool, and collected across that start-finish line.
Right now, not a lot of movers and shakers currently. I mean, everyone's kind of looks like keeping it pretty safe out the gate. Really no big, you know, moving amongst one another. Just single file action on the inside and the outside lane.
Jim Smith continues to lead the field into 3 and 4, and that's really what I love about Daytona, Jacob, is that side-by-side racing. Not going to see much separation, not too many gaps in between positions as well. Everybody's really locked in throughout the race. As you see that top side just working just a little bit more together up there so far here early on in this race. And you see some big names up there. We're getting a shot of McIntosh up there, Jeffrey Goodpaster up there as well, just in this shot.
A little bit
as
of
we
a
come across this front stretch right here.
We got some blinkers going on. That's why the computer kind of having a little bit going on the fritz right now.
And you see Schumann trying to drift up the racetrack into the entry of the corner. Justin carried to his high side in that 21. See some new names around that mix as well. There's the 5 of Brandon Hinton. He's in this conglomerate as well. Zach Lovelace, that 00, just in front of them. As the race continues here, 5 laps in of 75 here live on a Tuesday night. This is the season opener of the Truck Series, and right now there's the 48 trying to make a move to the top side of the 92. That's David Bersecki on the low side of the racetrack. 48's trying to use that momentum, catch the draft of the 80. This is 74, David McConnell, that we're just checking out there down the backstretch. Not a lot of position gains so far here, Jacob, as you mentioned. Everybody's just basically lockstep in their spots. We're getting a shot of the birthday boy himself, Thomas running at 72. Currently just hanging out in that mid-pack region, Jacob, as we're off of the corner. Ooh, all right, we saw a little bit of the field get a little squirrely there off of 4. As we continue here into the corner, low side of the racetrack now, starting to really ride that momentum. See some trucks going to the low side of the racetrack here. Having just a little bit of issues on the racetrack right now, but everybody's keeping it clean. Looks good so far. Oh, there's a big move out of Jeffrey Goodpass to go to the low side of the racetrack. He threw that tail end right in front of Todd Perrott. Now Goodpasser can't really find any draft to hold on to. Off of the corner here, he's going to briefly touch that apron as we're now 7 laps into this race.
Yeah, well, I am having some technical difficulties on my end. Not for sure what the packet loss is going on. Let me figure this out really quick.
As the field continues here, 7 laps in of 75, as mentioned. We have 3 sets of tires in the garage. No fast repairs, no cautions yet, as that's a wonderful shot of the field coming down the backstretch here. Low side lane is being led by Paul White, a newcomer here in this series. Doing a great job leading the way so far on that low side. Jim Smith leading the way. They're lockstep with one another. They started 1-2. They've been in that same position since the start of the race. Low side also has Dakota leader Anthony Harden. We have Tony Brett up there, Nate Lesko, Brendan Hitton. Just keeping it calm, cool, and collected here in this race from Daytona, Jacob. As Jim Smith continues to lead the way, Paul White right behind him. They have similar paint schemes. I would have to assume they're on the same team. As we're still sorting out what's happening on the racetrack here, we're going to keep calling it as we see it until it all comes crashing down here at Daytona. So far, it is the newcomers dominating here at the top. Nobody's trying to make a move for the lead so far. Jim Smith, Paul White, 1-2 on the racetrack. We have some Taylors. As 9 laps in, no separation so far in the field. We're live here on the RFRL League YouTube page, giving you this best coverage on a Tuesday night. As we saw Justin Carey briefly drift down the racetrack, he's going to wisely pull that thing right back up. As now we see that top side lane starting to build some momentum. It might put some pressure on these top 2 guys. These newcomers continue to lead the way into 1 and 2. Caution's out. First caution of the night. Caution out. As the caution flag waves the first time here tonight. Still fighting a little bit of the lag bug here at Daytona. There's love bugs and there's lag bugs. We're fighting the lag bugs here in the great state of Florida. As we'll sort those out for you. We had our first caution of the night. Gives us an opportunity to take a breather and a quick break. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll bring you the rest of the season opener from Daytona in just a moment.
Coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run. Falling deeper, I cannot confess. Drowning in the chaos, I can't catch my breath. I run. Catch my breath. I run. Falling deeper, I cannot confess. Drowning in the chaos, I can't catch my breath. I run. Catch my coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run. Falling deeper, I cannot confess. Drowning in the chaos, I can't catch my breath. I run. Catch my coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run. Falling deeper, I cannot confess. Drowning in the chaos, I can't catch my breath. I run. Catch my coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run. Falling deeper, I cannot confess. Drowning in the
Welcome back to Daytona here in the Ratfink Racing League. We want to apologize for those technical difficulties. We were taking our time, making sure we had that sorted and ready to rock for you here live from Daytona. We're under caution now for the third time. We were under caution for the first time as we took that break. Some more action ensued. No change in the lead though, as Jim Smith and Tony Brett and Paul White are 1, 2, 3 on the racetrack. Third caution of the night did happen while we were on break sorting out those technical issues, but we were excited to be back with you here live on our YouTube page. Thank you for sticking with us. And Jacob, we're back to racing here. Now 3 cautions in, I'm seeing a little bit of a discussion down in the garage area about what happened on those first 2.
Yeah, no, we'll kind of run it back really quick. And again, ladies and gentlemen, apologize for the technical difficulties. Just, whenever you have 43 trucks on the field, a computer can only handle so much. So it sounds like the producer needs to spend a little extra moolah on some new hardware. But we're going to kind of quickly run this back and see what was that first caution.
Check it out here. That first caution of the night, or right before we went to break. Going to see what exactly happened there. There was some discussions about a little over aggressive driving happening, and we'll check it out here. It's having a bit of technical difficulties here tonight, getting it sorted. That was our first caution of the night. What a big pile up that was, Jacob. Looks to be right off of corner number 2 down the backstretch, and it's going to involve the birthday boy. No, Zachary Wynn's going to be involved in that. Oh, man. Big pile up there as we see some trucks heading down pit road. We're going to get you all caught up to what ensued there on those caution flags, as now we're back live here at Daytona. And Jacob, from what I'm seeing, David Hickey, Tillamik, David McConnell, Victor Etheridge are all 6 laps down so far. Brett Thompson, Andy Bowman are 2 and 3 laps down. David McConnell, the other McConnell in the race, he's a lap down. Tyler Jones, 2 laps down. Brandon Schumann, a lap down. Sean Dion, a lap down. Andy Bowman, a lap down. As well as Ronald Hall is a lap down. He is the last car a lap down. He will get that lucky dog whenever it occurs. Jacob, some familiar names already out of this race so far. Very interesting to see early on.
Yeah, no. And again, getting back into it, on the third caution of the night, looks like, Brent Thompson is possibly out of the race. Victor Etheridge as well. No, actually, Victor's showing he's back out on track. Be interested to see who's in, who's out once these guys get all back on the track.
And folks, I've been keeping an eye out on that scoring and timing as we were sorting through those technical issues. It's really been those newcomers there in that first little bit of a run. We watched the likes of Tony Brett up there. Paul White was doing a great job leading the way. Jim Smith was up there as well. But now we have a total reshuffle of the grid. We have Tony Brett leading the way. Jesse Gordon in that Batmobile. Dakota Reeder. And last season's champion, Jordan Tross, is now back inside the top 5. Brandon Yates, Ismail Lopez, Thomas Wynn, Nate Lesko, Justin Carey, Zach Lovelace. And I believe I misspoke. That was Zachary Wynn caught up in that caution flag. Unfortunately for him, Jacob, he can go ahead and start planning that birthday, it looked like.
Yeah, no, and I do believe it was Thomas's birthday is tomorrow.
There we go. Hey, Thomas is still in the race then. There we go. Right on.
Yes, sir. But yeah, no. Thomas Wynn currently up 17 spots. Izzy Lopez,
Moving.
15. Jordan Tross, season 2 champion, up 34 spots. And then it's Tony Brent. I want to say he races in another series of ours. He doesn't typically race in the truck series, but it's the same guys about to be out front. Jesse Gordon, Dakota Reeder, and Jordan Tross. So should be interesting to see how everything shakes out between the 3 of them.
Yeah, Jesse, the driver of that 1-0 machine, the driver of the Batmobile, we like to say here in Rat Tank Racing, Last season, started off the season about 3 or 4 races in, made a late charge all the way to the end, all the way to the season finale, but just came up just a few points short. And of course, it was those 3 races that he missed that was the difference. But he was excited to kick this season off. He was ready. He was riding that momentum from last year, that last season. He was ready to make his mark here and race for a championship. And Jacob, it looks as though he's wasting no time getting right to it.
Yeah, no time at all. Then, we have John Crosby, one of our fan favorites, Mr. W Energy himself, 15th position, bouncing back and forth between 15th and 16th. At that point, Will Weber behind him, Jonathan Burt, Tony Burleson, and Anthony Harden as well, and then Jonathan McIntosh, Cody Deek. So it'd be interesting to see, who's going to end up playing the teammate game, who's going to help push who towards the end, or are you going to leave that person hanging high and dry out behind you?
Well, let's see. As the pace lights are off of the iRacing pace truck, we've got those technical issues sorted out, ready to rock and roll with you here on a Tuesday night. The field is as well. Tony Brett, Jesse Gordon will take the green flag as we're back racing here at Daytona. As the field, Jesse Gordon with a huge move to get right back behind Tony Brett. He'll follow him into 1 and 2.
That was a pretty bold move from Jesse, getting right behind, as you can tell, right on the back bumper of Tony Brent. Hopefully, he doesn't get him turned coming out of 2 down the backstretch. But Jesse drives it into the corner super hard. But be interested to see how. Try to throw a little bit of a late block right there.
What is happening as Dakota Reader goes to the high side of the racetrack? Jesse Gordon tries the block. He won't have enough to throw the block. Jordan Tross on the high side. He's pushing the 85 along. Oh, my goodness. Tony Brett's probably looking around like, what is going on?
Get loose. What a bad push from...
We do have a wreck. A wreck further down in the field. We have trucks into the top side. We have no caution just yet. And there it comes on lap 21. It was a ricochet effect of what happened on the front side of the field there, Jacob, and boy, wow, calamity on the front stretch.
Oh, man. I mean, this is what, to be expected in Daytona. It's just, it's one bad push. We'll see that coming from Jesse here shortly, but then we'll see it back there in the back as well from Jim Jackson.
Let's check it out here. And we saw what was happening in front of the grid. It's going to be a little further back, and it's just essentially just that accordion effect here, Jacob, as we check out this replay coming off of 4. Oh, I believe that's the 40.
Oh, yeah. Will came down just on that apron a little bit and tried to get back up there, and unfortunately got himself turned just a touch, and then collected Jonathan McIntosh in the process. And then from there, it's just chaos.
Pile up off of corner number 4. Cody Deek did a great job of escaping there. We saw him on the shot, and that's a rough impact there. I believe that was a 95 that came in.
Yeah, it came in
Got him
steamrolling.
there. That's the 95 of Jim Jackson. Just absolutely just T-boned him. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he just finished him. Oh, man.
I believe we had somebody else coming into the picture there. It's Cameron Gully, also with heavy damage to the front side of his truck as well.
I don't know if I'm shocked that Jim Jackson's truck is actually moving right now.
We could start to feel a heat pick up there. I mean, it is hot down here in Florida, but I mean, it just seems like these drivers are, maybe it's a little bit of nerves, maybe it's a little bit of energy, maybe it's just the anxiousness of the season opener. But boy, we can't take a breather up here in the booth, Jacob. These guys are just wasting no time really going at it.
Yeah, no time at all. I do want to go back and look at that push from Jesse Gordon, because again, one bad push can ultimately make or break your race at this point. Let's see here. We'll take it back. And then just right there, kind of gets Tony Brent a little squirrely, then trying to get it all straightened out. Just bad push off of the corner. But then also Tony's kind of also right on that apron just touch. So I mean, I'm not going to put the blame 100% right there. He hits that apron, he gets a little bit loose, he hits that crevice. It's a little loose right there. Not going to put the blame 100% on Jesse right there. I mean, that's twofold between the pusher and the pushee, but also at the same time, it's just one bad little slight movement can ultimately just make or break the night at that point.
As we see trucks on the low apron there, looks as though everybody headed down pit road. Got a reset here live on a Tuesday night in the Ratfink Racing League. We do have trucks down pit road, exiting pit road. About to go racing here in just a moment. Got 4 cautions so far. We're just about 23 laps into this race. Bit of technical difficulties to kick off the night, but we want to thank you again for joining us here on a Cinco de Mayo Tuesday there, Jacob. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody out there celebrating. And boy, there has been a lot of, we could say, little like tequila shots here in this race so far. It's been very feisty so far in this race. We watched these new names really trying to rise to the top. But we watched Ismael Lopez up there, Zach Lovelace, Paul White, Jim Smith, Justin Carey, Jeffrey Goodpaster, Jonathan Burt, Cody Deek, Dakota Reeder. Our top 10, of course, now being led by last season's champion, now up 37 spots to drop the green flag. Jordan Tross is now our new race leader.
Ooh, typical Jordan out front. We'll see how long he's going to end up staying out there. Be really interested to see. I mean, because typically whenever I race with Jordan, in super speedways, I mean, he usually just hangs out towards the back of the pack. I mean, you never really see Jordan out front like that. So it's interesting to see him out there leading the way currently.
Pace lights are off the iRacing pace truck. We do love to keep up with the chat as well. So if you want to shout out your favorite driver, or you have any comments about the race so far, go ahead and drop that in that chat. We'll do our best to respond it to you live here during this broadcast. And just on the right side of your screen, you can see those biggest movers so far. Jordan Tross, of course, leads the way. Cody Deek right there up 34 spots. John Crosby, Mr. W, up 26 spots. Tom Ringer, Mr. Consistent, up 21 spots since the drop of the green flag. We continue down the backstretch here under caution. Pace lights are off, about to go green in just a moment. Now we come into 3 and 4. We're live here every Tuesday night, 9:40 Eastern Standard Time. This is race number 1. Be giving out the first checker flag of the season, and just about 50 laps or so. Let's kick this off once again as Jordan Tross, Ismael Lopez will be our front row here on this restart. 4th caution of the night, and it is time once again to go racing in the Ratfink Racing League Tuesday Night Truck Series as the green flag waves. Jordan Tross takes us rumbling into one.
Izzy gets a little loose right there on that restart and has to Jim Smith had to check up, or excuse me, Paul White had to check up a little bit on the outside line and then move down towards that lower lane at that point.
As everybody's going to the low side of the racetrack, Jordan Tross, Zach Lovelace, Paul White, Ismael Lopez down there. No topside lane has formed just yet as we're waiting for those tires to get just a bit warmed up. Field continues into 3 and 4. They are lockstep, nose to tail, into the apex. Now off of 4, Jacob looks as though Paul White will pull out. He's trying to build the top side as we come down the front stretch.
Ooh, and now hopefully, hopefully with some of these guys kind of spreading out a little bit more, we can kind of keep it a little bit cleaner. But, I'm going to call this as, the lead pack, the hornet's nest. It's at that point. Be interested to see, who can keep it straight. Ooh, right there, number 11, Jonathan Burt, getting a little squirrely, almost hitting that top wall right there.
There's that Lopez start to drift up the racetrack in that 16. Looks as though he just lost the air for a minute. As the 85 Dakota Reader, he's in the mix right there as well. And I love that, Jacob. That is an absolute hornet's nest of trucks right there. Any small move can cause the Jenga pieces to fall. As again, it is super tight off the 4. Right on board here with the 85 machine, a Dakota Reader. Doing a great job keeping that truck on the low side of the racetrack. But you see the absolute lock jam in front of him here, Jacob. Nowhere to go. You just have to be patient exactly in the spot that you're in.
Yeah, no, you can see Dakota kind of before he enters 3, coming through 3 and 4, kind of letting up a little bit before getting into the backside of Tony Brandt right there. Just keeping it clean, just, not riding on the tail end, but also, still staying in that draft. Ooh, Tony Brandt, a little loose right there.
As we are starting to see a little bit of separation. Looks as though we have about 20 trucks here in this pack. Top side not as populated as the low side of the racetrack. Cody Deeks in the mix in that 13. Doing a great job fighting up there at the top. The 00 just trying to do a bump in the 79. It's causing a cascade down the racetrack.
Ooh, check up right there on that inside lane. It's just like bumper to bumper. Cody Deek and then Cody Deek into Dakota Reader. Just bam, bam, bam.
Bit of a cascade effect right there as Paul White continues to hold it down. Jim Smith now back up there, his buddy from earlier. Low side of the racetrack, trying to hold on. Oh boy, it was almost 3 wide there for just a moment. Todd Perrot's here in the mix. Jonathan Bird's up there. Zach Lovelace as well. Boy, the top side just trying to hold on here. Jacob, but look at that move out of Paul White and Jim Smith. The way to stay tandem off the exit. Boy, showing a lot of early speed out of those two.
And we'll kind of show some of our current drivers that have that are sharing their onboard feed with us. We have currently 6 of them. Anthony Harden, Cameron Goley, Tyler Jones, Mr. W Energy himself, John Crosby, Justin Carey, and Tyler Waltz. As always, we appreciate our drivers giving us a onboard view of what they're experiencing and also kind of their little bit of their habitat and kind of what they're racing in.
Oh, we love to see it right there, Jacob. All the different aspects of these drivers.
Oh.
And I got to say, too, it's time for to make a moment. We'll put you on the screen. And I think one race, we had both of them up on the screen as a caution flag flew. We were able to catch those sighs of relief when that came out. But look at Todd Perron. He's getting pushed to the top side of the racetrack. He's trying to battle for the lead. You're off of 4. Jonathan Burt up 24 spots. It's a job with the green flag. He's leading the way off of 4. Todd Perron doing everything he can to try to take that lead right now. Just locked in the back bumper into 1.
Yeah, we'll see if Todd can end up keeping it clean, giving Jonathan Burt a nice little push going down the front stretch. Coming through 1 and 2 at this point, and now they're about to go down to the back stretch and see who's going to make the mad dash towards the front now.
It will absolutely be a mad dash as he continues to knock on the door of Jonathan Burt. Top side, they make a run. Here they go. Jonathan Burt, Todd Perrott now to the low side of the racetrack. Nate Lesko in the 20. He's to the top side. 25 of Paul White. He's in the low side of the racetrack. New leader on the racetrack, Jonathan Burt. Our biggest mover, one of the biggest movers of the race so far. Crosses that start-finish line, makes it a lap 32 into one.
We'll kind of go back towards the back of the bus is what we like to call it, or the notorious the backpack group. I love riding in the backpack group just because you get a couple of buddies, you just run down the backstretch in a single file line like what these guys are doing, and you stay out of trouble. And then we'll check in with Tyler Waltz back here. Same thing, this backpack group. You got Anthony Harden, Zachary Wynn, Andy Bowman, Tyler Waltz, and Brandon Yates right there on the outside. And then you have Ronald Hall as well. So, but that group, you stay back there and you just keep to yourself until the next caution comes out. And then it's just you regroup and you just kind of hang back.
Ronald Hall currently the first truck a lap down right there as well in this mix. Colton Miller, Sean Dion. He's back after having some early issues in this race. You like the names of Tyler Waltz, Andy Bowman, Zachary Wynn, Anthony Harden, and Thomas Wynn. Now both the wins are working in this pack that we're catching on your screen right here. Zachary Wynn currently in 20th. Thomas Wynn currently in the 18th position. But you are absolutely right here, Jacob, as Anthony Harden is leading that pack. Anything could happen once the caution flag flies. You are back in the mix. It is great just to keep that train rolling. As right now we watch the field come off of 4. A lot of movement on the low side and not a lot on the top side of the racetrack so far. We'll see if any drivers decide to pull out of line. Cody Deek is actually one of the 3 trucks on the top side into 1 and 2. As we're coming up on some lap traffic here, this will be interesting to see how we can get around.
Going 3 wide.
Ooh, boy. Nice. As the trucks come roaring by on the low side, David Bersecki, of course, he is our race leader. New race leader on the racetrack, David Bersecki. Oh my goodness, the 92. Where did he come from, Jacob? Now battling for the lead as we come to the front stretch.
And we haven't said his name in a long time, so it's always good to be able to say it. But Nate Lesko, Mr. Nesquik himself, he's not running the Nesquik truck this evening. Looks like he's got a Kellogg's cornflakes. Look at him go.
He is surely eating his Wheaties right now. I see his low side. But what's making me nervous is the 2 of Matt Morrison on the top side of the racetrack. He is feeling some kind of pressure right behind him. I'm seeing him just jockey around. He does not like the pushes he is getting from behind. As David Bersecki's still leading the way on the low side. He's being pushed by Nate Lesko. But look at the pushes that Ismael Lopez is putting on the 2. I mean, the 2 Matt Morrison is saying, man, I appreciate it, but just simmer down just a little bit, as they are just very, very discombobulated off of 4.
Then we have Jordan Tross right there, and behind him, Zach Lovelace, Dakota Reeder as well. And this is what, I'm accustomed to seeing Jordan kind of doing. It's just kind of staying towards the back, but also leading the, that inside lane, and then just staying out of the mix of the hornet's nest at that point. But, getting a little squirrely right there coming down the backstretch.
Yeah, as we're 2 by 2 by 2, there goes Ishmael Lopez to the lead. Oh, boy. One aggressive move out of the 16 to take the lead. He does get a little bit of a love tap as he tries to make that block. That's Cody Deek in the mix now. The 13's to the low side as we come off of 4. It just doesn't seem as though we can keep it together off of these corners here, Jacob. We are very, very tight on the front stretch and back stretch. But watch the field as we come off of 2. There's going to be that moment of hesitation between everybody. It just tells me we're not as together as we need to be right here in this race, which indicates to me a caution flag could be right around the corner.
Ooh, you're going to put it out there into existence. You're going to claim some lives here shortly. I'd be easy with saying that.
It's just what I'm seeing. You see right here as we're down the backstretch, we're pretty tight. We're good with the bump and runs. into 3 and 4. Again, we're pretty tight. We're good with our lines. We see some trucks kind of simmering out of line. And then on the exit of the corner, the whole field does a little hesitation where everybody comes out of line. There's an accordion effect. Right there, you can almost see a little bit of a checkup as well. The exits are getting a little bit tricky for these drivers.
Yeah, no, and we're going to be seeing, if it stays green as long as what it's going right now, I can see a green flag pit stop run, but we shall see, roughly guys are getting, if you're out front, you're going to be, your fuel window is going to be shorter than what it is going to be in the back. Ooh, looks like they're coming up on some lap traffic right there. Looks like Jonathan McIntosh. Is that Colton? No, Jim Jackson and Cameron Goley, it looks like. But where I was going with this is fuel window is roughly anywhere between 26 to 32 laps. And right now, the last time that the guys at pit was 21 laps. Some of them 26. So should...
Whoa! Oh, no! Big Rick heading into 1 and 2. Oh my goodness! Inside the top 10. I saw it starting to happen. Drivers were getting loose. And boy, did that happen just as you were breaking that down, Jacob.
Never fails.
Absolute just pile up right on the entry of the corner.
Yeah, never fails. It was like, oh yeah, if we get a green flag pit stop run, they got about 5 laps to go. Oh no, it's they're entering the pits now, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, and my fault to the drivers involved, but I could just feel it coming. And boy, we're 3 wide off of the corner. I mean, we're 3 wide off of the corner. There's no way with the much tire wear as Jacob was just talking about that we were going to be able to hold that line. I mean, that's just... And it's no offense to the drivers. It was just the way that everything was building here the last few laps on the exits. I could tell there was something kind of off about how we were running these lines and on off the exits. And just off the exit of, I believe that's 4 I'm looking at. We tried to go 3 wide. And right here, I mean, this is wild. This is what a move to try to go to the low side and then shoot the gap on the start-finish line. And I believe that's the 27 I'm looking at there, if I'm not mistaken, on the top side.
Yeah, 25 went to the outside line, and then 32 tried to shoot that gap. And then right there at that tri-oval just came together.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
No.
Man. That's the 32 that shot the gap there. And the 11 was right behind him. Boy, just a big pile up there.
Nate
We'll
Lesko into the back.
some names.
Yeah, Nate Lesko right there in the Kellogg's machine to the back end. And then Todd Perrant, luckily enough, ended up getting out of there.
Wow. As Paul White is our race leader on the racetrack. Ishmael Lopez now in second. Cody Deek, Jonathan Burt third and fourth. Jim Smith fifth. Jim Smith survives that, but I'm sure there is going to be a bit of damage on that truck as now the entire field heads down pit road. And I got to think we're probably going to have one more pit stop before the end of this race, Jacob?
I would assume so. I mean, we're lap 40 out of 75, so if we, for whatever reason, if we have a green flag pit stop at that point, yes, we will have one more stop for sure.
As we have some drivers a little turned around on pit road trying to get into their stalls. Paul White was our race leader as we entered pit road. We're going to stick with it here, see who wins the race off of pit road. We've got Paul White, Jesse Gordon, Jonathan Burt, John Crosby, Zach Lovelace, Cody D, Ishmael Lopez, Todd Perrant, Jordan Tross, and Dakota Reeder are our top 10 off of pit road. And now we're under caution for the 5th time here at Daytona. We're going to step aside for just a brief moment. We'll be right back here with the season opener, the iRacing League Truck Series.
When the days are cold and the cars all all folding. The saints we see are all made of gold. When your dreams all fail, and the ones we hail are the worst of all, and the bloods run stale. I wanna hide the truth, I wanna shelter you, but with the beast inside, there's nowhere we can hide. No matter what we breed, we still are made of greed. This is my kingdom come, this is my kingdom come. When you feel my heat, look into my eyes, it's where my demons hide, it's where my demons hide. Don't get too close, they stalk inside, it's where my demons hide, it's where my demons hide. When the days are cold and the cards all fold, and the saints we see are all made of gold. When your dreams all fail, and the ones we hail are the worst of all, and the bloods run stale. I wanna hide the truth, I wanna shelter you, but with the beast inside, there's nowhere we can hide. No matter what we breed, we still are made of greed. This is my kingdom come, this is my kingdom come. When you feel my heat, look into my eyes, it's where my demons hide, it's where my demons hide. Don't get too close, they stalk inside, it's where my demons.
We're back here from Daytona here in the season opener of the Ratting Racing League season number 3. It's been a pretty crazy race so far. We've had 5 cautions. We've had some technical difficulties as well. We've tried our best to give you the action so far here in this race. As we were on a break there, we were just chatting about how these newcomers are coming in hot and heavy here in this series. As Paul White, Jonathan Burt, our top 2, John Crosby, Zach Lovelace, Cody Deek, Ishmael Lopez, Todd Perrant, Jordan Tross, Thomas Wynn, and Anthony Harden are top 10 here on this restart. The last restart was a 3-wide battle that ended in caution. That brought out that last caution. As we await the pace truck to pull off, we're going to go racing here once again. 41 laps into 75. It will be Paul White, Jonathan Burt, as they get things rocking and rolling once again across the start-finish line into one.
Ooh, Zach Lovelace and Jonathan Burt, a little bumper-to-bumper action right there. Just looked like a slight checkup from Jonathan Burt at that point. We'll kind of check back in towards the middle of the pack. You know, Colton Jackson right there, Tony Burleson, Tom Ringer, Zachary Wynn. Nope, excuse me. That is Thomas Wynn. No, that's Zachary Wynn. I apologize.
It's very confusing. They got me to begin the race, but they're still going. They're still both doing very well. Thomas Wynn is up to 10th right now. Doing a great job, up 14 spots as the drop of the green flag. We see some trucks pull out of line in the entry of the corner. That indicates to me that we are back up to top speed. Todd Perron on the low side, getting a good shot of him. Anthony Harden on the top side. Bit of a checkup off of 4 there, Jacob, as everybody's starting to settle back in here. Starting to see maybe these drivers just starting to maybe coast back just a little bit here, realizing what lap it is.
Yeah, no, it's typically, on smaller fields, I usually just try to run that outside lane. You know, no one ever really runs it, and then you can really side draft off of them. It kind of makes some guys mad because the arrow push between the two trucks will kind of get one person a little off course if you're not careful. But with this, I would be trying with how big this field is to get my way towards the back in the backpack group and just kind of lay back until the final closing laps.
As it seems as what could be called an inversion of the field. Inside of the top 10, we have the likes of Sean Dion. He's up 27 spots since the drop of the green flag. Jordan Tross, he's up to 9th, up 29 spots as the drop of the green flag. Ishmael Lopez, we've seen him inside of the top 10 here for a minute. But then we'll jump back up there. Cody Deek currently in 3rd. He's up 40 spots since the drop of the green flag. And John Crosby up 38 spots since the drop of the green flag. Oh boy, that was a very cautious move there to the low side of the racetrack there to pull inside of that Nokia snake line. That's heading into 3 and 4. But great races so far. Only 5 cautions, Jacob, for John Crosby and Cody Deek. And they made the most of those cautions so far.
Yeah, no, and and again, apologies to everyone with the technical difficulties. Sometimes with some of these bigger fields, it's a little bit more taxing on the CPU. But with that, like you said, it's with only 5 cautions tonight, with a 43 truck field, shockingly enough, I mean, I'm shocked that there's not more. So kudos to the guys for, for the most part, keeping it clean as much as possible. Ooh, Andy Bowman right there in the back getting a little loose. But, these guys are doing a great job this evening.
You're watching the field slowly down the backstretch here into 3 and 4. Ishmael Lopez on the top side of the racetrack there in the 16. Sean Dillon right there as well. I love this ride-along point of view as we're right on the back bumper of last year's champion, Jordan Tross. Jordan trying to hang on to this spot. Doing a great job so far here in this race, Jacob. Just lingering inside of the top 10. He is what we like to call a late race driver. He's a guy that will linger. It's still about 15-20 laps to go, and then he will shut the door on any hopes of anybody else winning. Let's see if we can pull it off again here tonight, as it looks as though we only have 1 lane on the racetrack, and that's the low lane off of 2.
Yeah, that group that's way in the back right there. Got the camera turning quicker. Right there. That little group right there, that's the group I love to ride in. Let the big dogs go out there and, let them play with themselves and get in all the trouble and whatnot. Just stay in the back, and then as soon as, a caution comes out or accident, you're able to, check up super well, slow up, and then at that point, it's just like, okay, just slowly but surely just creeping your way towards the front.
And although you like to say call them the lingerers or the backpack group, there are some big names in that backpack group. We have Jeffrey Goodpasture leading the charge, Brandon Yates back there, Tom Linger, Brandon Hinton, he's coming off a victory in the next gens, Tyler Waltz back there, and Will Weber. So you have some pretty solid drivers inside of this backpack group that could possibly make a run at that checkered flag if they can catch that lead pack.
Shockingly enough, I am super surprised that Will Weber is still on the lead lap after Jim Jackson just completely T-boning him on that one caution from earlier. Really, I mean, we'll kind of see from high. Yeah, I mean, he has a little bit of some back bumper damage, but other than that, again, shocked that he's still in the race.
Looking at his lap times last time by, he is probably one of the slower trucks on the racetrack right now with a 49.6 last time by. The only other guy that is a bit slower than him was Zachary Wynn with a 53 and he won. So, but the slowest truck still on the lead lap right now, Will Weber in that 40 machine. But excited to see what Will can do. Future races here this season. Excited to have him in this league this year. But we are still awaiting that checkered flag. Who will be the first victor of the season? And again, Jacob, I'm seeing it again. Off of 4, very discombobulated as our leaders take us across the start-finish line into 1 and 2.
Yeah, no, you got Todd Perron out there making his way towards the front. We shall see if he's going to be able to get on that podium spot this season. Every time we do talk about Todd, somehow we always give him the commentator's curse, so hopefully I didn't curse him this time. But he's a fan favorite. We always root for Todd. It's awesome to see. And then right there, you see Jordan Tross right there just giving Cody Deek a little bit of that push coming through 3 and 4.
Cody Deek now leads the charge on the low side of the racetrack with 13. He is trying to break through. Couldn't do it at all last season. Can he make it happen to kick off season number 3? But here comes that man again. Mama, here comes that man. Jordan Tross, last season's champion, now back where it all ended, at the top of the grid. Into 1 and 2, working the hard line, the top side. Leading Sean Dion on the top side. David Bersicki's up there with him as well. Watch this move to the low side of the racetrack. No, Jacob, he stays up high.
Yeah, Andy Bowman right there almost got a little squirrely. Kind of, I don't know if it was a bad push from Thomas Wynn at that point. Right there, you see Thomas in the middle. Got out of the formation. See if he can get squeezed back in there. I think he did. I think he did indeed. But yeah, he did. But a little bit of a bad push from Thomas at that point on that outside lane. But they ended up saving it. So we'll see if he can get back towards the front, going through wide, right there. Yeah, down the front stretch.
3 wide down the back stretch. I believe that's Andy Bowman in the 19.
Going through 1 and 2 right now.
Ooh. We're okay. We're back to 2 by 2. Everybody's calmed down on the racetrack. That's Andy Bowman in the 19. Right behind the 16, Ishmael Lopez, who's had a great race so far. Todd Brunt running the back bumper of John Crosby. Everybody's just trying to move and shake as we're into 3 and 4. There goes Brett Thompson in the 45. But you see how anxious these drivers are. A lot of give and take. A lot of uncomfortableness within this pack. They're riding on board now to 69 at Todd Perrott. Across that start-finish line with just about 20 laps to go here in this season opener. And it's really anybody's race, Jacob, as we're now into 1 and 2. Jordan Tross leading the way.
Ooh, going 3 wide right there through 1 and 2. You got Brent Thompson. And then you got
Carey.
Yeah, Justin Carey, and then Jonathan Burke.
Woo. Wow. As the field continues to move and groove, David Bersicki now pushing the 3 machine of Sean Dion on the top side of the racetrack. It looks as though Sean liked that very much, but that's the only way that David Bersicki can get back up to the top side of the grid, which he has led laps so far. Watch here as yeah.
You got a lap car right there on the outside. See if he can stay out of the mix of everyone.
Man, what a run out of some of these guys here tonight, though, Jacob. Look at the likes of Cody Deek. Sean Dion's up there as well. I mean, he's currently in that 8th spot, 7th spot on the racetrack. I mean, Todd Perrott's up there in the mix. I mean, we're counting down the laps here, and these guys could make a really, really realistic run at the checkered flag.
Yeah, no, it's shockingly enough, you got Brent Thompson right there. He's 3 laps down, but running with the big group at this point. So we'll see if caution comes out and he can keep it clean and possibly get his one of his laps back.
As we have a moment to chat about that, Brett Thompson at 45. Of course, you see him in this pack right here. He's one of those trucks that are a few laps down. If you're looking for your favorite driver,
going 3 wide.
Oh no, there goes Ishmael Lopez. Oh man!
Nate Lesko sent it 3 wide at that point. Took that outside lane.
Wow. I was just going to check in with the graveyard of trucks we have in the garage, but I'll hold that thought momentarily. As it looks as though we have another line trying to form on the top side. It's Nate Lesko being pushed by the 21 of Justin Carey. Just to cover briefly, if you're looking for your favorite driver on that grid, you don't see them, they may be out of this race. We have Telenique out, David Hickey, David McConnell, Victor Etheridge, David McConnell, Brandon Schumann, Tony Brett, who was running on the top side of the grid early on in this race. Matt Morrison, Ronald Hall is down 14 laps. Cameron Gully, he is down 6 laps. Jim Jackson, Colt Miller, Jonathan McIntosh down 3 laps. And of course, Tyler Jones is the last truck, a lap down, 2 laps down for the 62 machine of Tyler Jones. Zachary Wynn, the last truck currently on the lead lap with less than 28 laps to go. Back up to the action here at the front, Jacob, as they come roaring off of 2 down the backstretch. We have right now Jordan Tross leading the way into 3 and 4.
Ooh, going 3 wide right there. And an airplane in the background landing. That is, never seen that before. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. But yeah, going 3 wide right there. Looks like Zach Lovelace, Sean Dion. Behind him is Nate Lesko and David Bersicki right there.
Choo choo as the train comes rolling around the bend. We see a lap truck in the mix right there. Boy, they got to get out of the way. They got Zachary Wynn in the 72 because this train is coming and it is rolling around the bend. That's Jordan Tross in the 79. He is a race leader, but there is so much activity behind him as now we're 3 wide down the backstretch here at Daytona. Now briefly back to 2 by 2 by 2 for that lap truck of Zachary Wynn. Boy, Jacob, things are getting crazy as now Mr. W himself, the 73 John Crosby, back up to 3rd.
Ooh, that's where we're normally accustomed to seeing John Crosby at that point. And John's one of those ones where, again, he'll kind of sandbag a little bit in qualifying, and then from there just work his way towards the front. Ooh, going 3 wide down the front stretch.
Whoa,
No, side by
what
side.
are you doing?
Kept it side by side.
Gosh.
Todd Perrant and Sean Dion right there, teammates, and then behind Sean Dion you got Nate Lesko.
Look at Cody Deek. Cody Deek to the low side. Now he has to find a lane. Oh boy, he's going to have to try to find one of these laps to try to go at the 79 and Jordan Tross. Jordan's leading the way, but he has to know as well, Jacob, this is not going to be an easy victory. This will not be one that he crosses the finish line all by himself. He will have company. Will he have 2 cars next to him? 3 wide at the finish line. Right now, Cody Deek is the man that has the best shot, but he has to find a way to possibly break out into that next lane as we make it lap 59 into 1 and 2. Cody Deek still patiently waiting behind the 79, Jacob, but he has to find a moment, an opportunity to break through, or else he will get stuck right behind the 79.
Yeah, we'll see if Cody Deek's going to just patiently just hang tight behind Jordan Tross, or if he's going to try and make the move going through 3 and 4. But, I mean, me personally, I would just kind of hang tight behind Jordan. I mean, I don't want to leave him hanging high and dry on that low lane, in these races. Ooh, right there. Going
3 wide, 3 wide.
3 wide right there with Sean Dion and Andy Bowman, I believe.
3 wide, Sean Dion in the mix of this. This is all happening inside of the top 10. Oh my goodness, if anything goes south here. Oh no! Sean Dion crashes! Sean Dion into the wall! He collects Justin Carey into the top side. Sean Dion goes nose first in the green Jacksonville Jaguars paint scheme. Right into the top side. And our 6th caution of the night comes out. Boy, Jacob, you were watching that for a minute. And this is just going to look just very unfortunate for Sean watching this one back.
Right there, you got Nate Lesko on the outside, Zach Lovelace on the bottom. Ooh, Andy Bowman coming in a little hot.
I don't think anybody touches the 3. That's what's going to be the most disappointing part of this. Just a brief touch. And I think Sean was already loose there for just a moment. And I think he was trying to correct that line right there. You see how that little bit of...
Yeah, just a touch.
And he's trying to come back up the racetrack, just trying to ride that lane.
And then you got Justin Carey comes. Maybe does Justin come down just a touch? I don't think so at that point.
I think it's just all accidental.
Almost looks like netcode a little bit, to be honest with you.
A little bit. That's why I figured it was a little bit discouraging for the 3. When he watches this replay back, he'll see that it wasn't really anything. I mean, that's just the slightest of touches there. And I don't even think Justin moved off his line. I think it was just a straight, just the 3 just drifted up just a little, just the slightest too much. Made just a nudge against the 21, and that just caused him to go right into the wall.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, yeah, it just stinks. I mean, that was a good run from Sean. I mean, he kept it clean as much as possible, especially going 30 wide down the front stretch.
Right there is where you're going to see that. Just the slightest.
It looked like a slight bit of net code, but man, then just at that point, just they got caught up into the wall.
And for Justin Carey, he had a pretty good run going on here tonight as well. I mean, at least top 15. He was doing a great job rocking that top side lane. He was doing a great job of working through the air as well. And now it's just for the season opener. This is one heck of a race. I mean, we have some big dogs already out of the race. We have some newcomers seeing what this league is like. I mean, this is off to a great Cinco de Mayo season opener right here.
Yes, sir. And then you got Izzy Lopez staying out front. I don't think he entered the pits at that point. No, I think he ended up just staying out. Last time he had pit was lap 40, and we're on 61, so 21 laps he's been out. So I'm kind of shocked that he ended up staying out, surprisingly.
As we await the field to re-grid, get everything sorted, we're going to step aside for our last break of the evening. We'll be right back with the conclusion of season number 3, season opener, live from Daytona.
Coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run. Falling deeper, I cannot confess. Drowning in the chaos, I can't catch my breath. I run. Coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run. Falling deeper, I cannot confess. Drowning in the chaos, I can't catch my breath. I run. Coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run. Falling deeper, I cannot confess. Drowning in the chaos, I can't catch my breath. I run. Coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run. Falling deep.
Welcome back from Daytona here in the Ratfink Racing League. We're just about to go racing after our 6th caution of the night did wave. I am William Tiller. I'm joined up here by Jacob Williams. And Jacob, the season opener has been absolute fireworks from the beginning. We're about to get some more here in just a second. As your top 10 is Ishmael Lopez, Cody Deek, Jonathan Burt, George Strauss, Zach Lovelace, Jim Smith, Jesse Gordon, John Crosby, Paul White, and Dakota Reader will take us to the restart here in just a moment. This will be the last of around 14 laps of this race. And folks, if you are just now joining us, there were only 2 attempts at that green or white checkered. So over time, Jacob, there's only 2 attempts and the race is over.
Yes, sir. No, it's be interesting to see how crazy it's going to get towards the end. You know, we're on lap 62 out of 75. We're coming up on lap 63, so we're really only going to have 12 laps to go. So I can see a lot of these guys getting really anxious, trying to make a move straight out the gate. So I could say over under, I would say probably 2 more laps, or not 2 more laps, 2 more cautions coming out.
Could be 2 more laps until the caution flag waves again. But we shall wait and see as the lights are off and the iRacing pace truck has pulled off. It will be Ishmael Lopez, Cody Deek take us across that restart zone. The green flag is in the air. Once again, we are racing into 1 at Daytona.
Good restart from Izzy Lopez at that point. Cody Deek getting a push from Cody Deek getting a good push from Jordan Tross, and then you go on from the bottom of him, you got Jonathan Burt, who's been out front pretty much the majority of the race. Then right behind Jordan Tross, you got Jesse Gordon. Then you have Paul White, David Bersecki, Tom Ringer, Jeffrey Goodpasture on that outside lane. Now Jesse Gordon trying to make the move on the lower lane. Cody Deek moves down, kind of leaves Jordan Tross hanging high and dry just a touch.
Yeah, as Ishmael Lopez in that 16 couldn't get that thing moving quick enough. Has now free falled down the grid. Tom Petty, oh no! Tom Ringer gets collected by the 16. He's through the infield grass. Caution waves. 7th caution of the night.
Oh no.
As Tom Ringer gets clipped by the 16 of Ishmael Lopez. And it sends Tom just lawn mowing through the infield grass. Not sure if he was collected anybody coming back up the racetrack. But we're under caution here once again for the 7th time of the night.
Oh man, you see Tom right there. Almost getting a little airborne. Tom came down, and then unfortunately Tom got himself turned. Just tried to make too fast of a move, trying to almost got into the backside of David, and that's probably why he's going down to the bottom lane. And then he just comes up. Clips Tyler Waltz, Will Weber right there, and then don't tell me it was Birthday Boy. Do not tell me it was Birthday Boy. Was it Zachary? I think it was, unfortunately, Thomas Wynn. Let's see if... then Tom comes back up. Just to the side, just a touch. Maybe he can get some repairs done and get back on track. No, he's still moving pretty well.
As Ishmael Lopez there in the 16, as you mentioned, it was a little incidental contact there with the 68 of Tom Ringer. So we have a truck stop on the backstretch there as we're under caution. This will bring us to about 10 laps to go, less than 10 laps to go here in the Ratfink Racing League Tuesday Night Truck Series. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, that notification bell. We do appreciate all the support from all you fans that decide to spend your Tuesday nights with us here on YouTube, watching these great races every single week. We're also live on the Thursday nights, bringing you next gen action at around the same time, 9:40 Eastern Standard Time. We're also live on a Wednesday nights with the O'Reilly Series. Just no commentary there. So if you want to get your iRacing fix and just watch your drivers go at some of your favorite racetracks, Wednesday night is the night for you. And Jacob, on a Saturday night, if you don't have any hot dates and you're not going anywhere, we run late models here in the Ratfink Racing League. Go check that out as well. That's also live on YouTube, just no commentary. But if you'd like some more information about all of those leagues and the race here tonight, make sure to go ahead on over to that awesome website, rfrl.league.com. There we go. I got it, Jacob. As you can see it right here on your screen if you're watching with us here on YouTube. One of the most detailed websites you have ever seen, from championship hopes, stats, driver history, driver performances. I mean, you can click a driver and see what series they're in, see what kind of stats they have. I mean, it is absolutely detailed to the T. That's rfrlleague.com. Jacob, especially with the season kicking off here tonight, folks can go check out the rest of the season, what the schedule looks like, what the drivers look like after this race. So many things on that website.
Yeah, no, shout out, he's not on track this evening, but shout out to Chuck Burley, one of the admins of RFRL, has spent a bunch of time on that thing, and it's so awesome to see, like you were saying, just the amount of statistics that go into that thing. I can only imagine, he's probably waking up to it every morning, taking it out to lunch and taking it out to dinner as well, just how much time he has spent on that website. But shout out to Chuck Burley for all the hard work that he's put into that thing for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Without the drivers and without the website, we wouldn't be having anything to talk about, Jacob. So kudos to them. Kudos to Chuck for all of the behind-the-scenes action that he does. And we also want to say welcome to all of our new drivers here in the field here tonight. As you mentioned, some of these guys just haven't been around for a minute. Some of these guys are brand new to the series. So we hope after here tonight we see some of these names in race number 2 and maybe make a push at that championship, as Jordan Tross I wouldn't say coasted to that championship towards the end, but he all but had it wrapped up with a race to go that made Charlotte essentially a parade race for the 79 machine. Here tonight, though, Jacob, it has been a bit more competitive. We've had some names really push him around, sort of say. Paul White, Cody Deek has really broken through. Jesse Gordon could break through here tonight. David Bersecki, you mentioned it during the broadcast. We very rarely call his name, and it's almost never for a good reason. Here tonight, he is inside the top 5 with a legit shot at the checkered flag.
Yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see him out there. I'll be super excited to get him into the broadcast booth to do an interview with him.
As we watch the field come by the camera here, live on YouTube. Jeffrey Goodpasser up there. Let's run through the top 10 before we get to that restart zone. It will be Jordan Tross, Paul White, Cody Deek, Jesse Gordon, Sean Dion, Justin Carey, Colton Miller, Jeffrey Goodpasser, Jonathan Burt, Zach Lovelace, Jim Smith, and John Crosby down in that 9th position. As we're into 3 and 4. Jacob, I guess my question to you is, of course, we have last season's champion Jordan Tross leading the way, but do you think any of these new names could really put the pressure on him, maybe break through and snag this victory away?
Paul White's been, he ended up getting pole, so, he's a newcomer. I could see him, kind of putting him on his edge, putting him on his toes. And then Jesse's really not a newcomer, but within the trucks, he wasn't really able to run consistently. I'd say Jesse. I think Jesse and Jordan is going to be a top battle of a rivalry this season if Jesse can run consistently within the series.
Well, let's see. As we come off of 4, pace lights are off of the iRacing pace truck. The top 10's ready to rock. Just outside of the top 10, you have Dakota Reeder, Andy Bowman, Tony Burleson. As we're ready once again here at Daytona, Jordan Tross in the ARC Raider machine will take us through the restart zone across the start-finish line as the green flag is in the air as the 79 takes us into 1.
Ooh, Andy Bowman a little slow out the gate. Kind of causes that lower lane to check up quite a bit. That's going to create the separation between Andy and, I'm going to say, they're not in the same lane, but Dakota right there. See if they can get back into that draft to get the pack, brought back together.
As Cody Deek looks as though he is trying to knock on the door of the 79, still not enough. As we're 2 by 2 just outside of the 13.
What a push from David Bersecki. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is not waiting. As this is not the time to wait as the Batmobile. Did somebody say, here comes Batman, as we're off of 4. But he is locked in on the top side of the racetrack. The low sides being run by Jordan Tross and Cody Deek. They're 1-2 across the start-finish line. Into 1 and 2 we go as the laps tick down. 6 laps to go.
Oh, check up right there on Andy Bowman again. Oh, caution's out.
Caution. Wow. Oh, big caution right on the entry of the corner there. Boy. I believe, Jacob, that's going to set us up essentially at a green-white checkered.
I do believe it's going to take us to a green-white checkered. Let's see here what happened. Who is that? You got... Oh, Anthony Harden right there up into the wall. Oh, lordy. Andy Bowman upside down on his roof.
Whoa. As we watch the 19 come off of that corner there, we thought it was the 68 of Tom Mayer was going to go airborne. Instead it's the 19.
Oh.
As we watch here on the replay, I believe that's Tony Burleson in the 97 right behind him there, Jacob.
Ooh, Nate Lesko, and then gets that
Anthony Harden.
Yeah.
19 of Bowman. You don't see these trucks flip very much. But there it is. Oh, man, look at that shot.
Makes me
Oof.
makes me a little sick. Let's watch it real time.
We are now upside down.
You got caught.
Oh, man.
Yeah, hunting hunting down another car to hit. Unfortunately.
Hey, it flipped back over on him. There we go. Hey, like a cat. You just land on your feet every time.
Lordy.
I'll give it a 10 out of 10. There we go.
Yeah, it looks like
Watching in real time.
Yeah, Andy just kind of came down a little bit on that apron and then tried to work his way. Just kind of creep his way back up and just got himself turned.
Doop. It's a little apron action. Flips right back up. There we go.
Ooh, so here we go. Caution number 8. I mean, 8 cautions at Daytona. Yeah, it's a little touch higher than, I personally would like. But, I mean, for having as big as the field as what it is, I mean, I'd say that's pretty good. I mean, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here on a Cinco de Mayo Tuesday night. This is the season opener of season number 3 of the Racting Racing Tuesday Night Truck Series. And as Jacob mentioned, it has been a high number of cautions, 8 cautions so far. But really, I think some of these cautions we've had here tonight, they have a bit of a running trend. It's usually 2 trucks collected, maybe a little bit of an accordion effect collecting other guys. But nothing really inside of the top 10, top 5. Nothing has really affected a lot of these guys up here. Jim Smith is still up here. Paul White's still up here. Cody Deek, man. I mean, what an absolute drive for that 13. Zach Lovelace is still up in the mix here. Dakota Reeder in the 85. And, Jeffrey Goodpaster, shout out to that one machine. He was leading that backpack group you were talking about, Jacob. Now finds himself currently in that 9th spot.
Yeah, no, it's and I don't think we've had an interview with Jeffrey Goodpasture before. But yeah, no, that backpack group, I mean, this is where ultimately hanging out in that backpack group ultimately, in my opinion, saves your race. It's just you stay out of the mix of the big monster, the hornet's nest, that we like to call it, and then from that point you're just you are just kind of hanging back. But now it's go time. I mean, it's we're coming up on lap 72, and then it's going to be green, white, checkered.
Absolutely. So this will be our first attempt at that green, white, checkered. Works the exact same way as the races that you see on real TV. Might be watching on your TV right now, but in those same NASCAR races that you see, it works the same way. As long as that white flag drops, the race is over. Now, if the yellow flag does wave once again before that white flag, then we'll go to a second overtime. And what that means is that once the green flag waves, the race is over if a caution flag waves. Whoever's leading at that second caution in that second overtime will take home the victory, as that will allot the amount of overtimes we have here in the Rat-Think Racing League. And Jacob, I kind of like it. I kind of like the 2 overtime rule. It gives these drivers basically 2 great chances to win the race, and if you can't get it done by then, it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. And then Will was kind of mathing in my head. I do not believe that this is going to be a green, white, checkered attempt, because we got 73, which will be green, 74 will be green, and then 75 will be the white flag. So we have one more lap before we turn into a green, white, checkered. So
awesome.
It's going to go green, green, white at that point. So my apologies for getting us getting us led in the wrong direction.
No, that's great news. That leaves us 2 of those green, white checkers just in case we need them. With only 1, that was going to be very, very tough for some of these drivers. As we see, we're into the entry of 3 and 4. Top 10 here on this restart: Jordan Tross, Cody Deek. We have Paul White, Jesse Gordon, Zach Lovelace, David Bersecki, Jim Smith, Dakota Reeder, Jeffrey Goodpaster, and Jonathan Burt will be our top 10 here as we're about to get things rocking and rolling here once again in the great sunshine state of Florida. It's been palm trees and beaches all week long, but now it's time for checkered flags as Jordan Tross, Cody Deek will take us through the restart zone as the green flag is in the air once again. This is 79 takes us into one.
And shockingly enough, if Andy Bowman is still out on the lead lap, even though his truck was upside down from that last caution.
As the battle ensues, Jordan Tross on the low side of the racetrack, 25 of Paul White's there as well. Top side has just a little bit more momentum. We see the three trying to build. Big crash on the backstretch, big pile up.
Oh
man.
Wow. Yeah, that was super intense. That was the 97 of Tony Burleson.
Wow. A top 15 race. Ended just like that for the 97 Tony Burleson. You see the 69 Todd Perrant in the shot.
Oh.
And there goes the 7. And I believe that's just going to be one of those accordion effects once again, Jacob. You see it happen at the front side of the grid. And it's just going to cause a checkup for the rest of the field.
Yeah. Todd Perrant right there in the backside of Tanner Honeycutt. And then whenever he gets into Tanner, Anthony Harden gets into him, and then Todd just gets into him more and gets him turned. Todd Perrant to Brandon Hinton. Tom Ringer right there. And I want to say Tom Ringer ends up getting collected too. Sean Dion. Yeah. And then
He might be okay. The 3 looks as though no damage.
yeah, Sean barely squeezed by. Oof.
And for Tom Ringer, he had a podium streak going for a while. Don't know if this is how he wanted to start the season in that 68, the way he ended the season number 2. Finishing, I believe, 3rd in the overall point standings, just ahead of John Crosby, if I'm not mistaken, or there was a quite the battle between the 73 and the 68 for that 3rd spot in the championship standings. But coming in here tonight, Tom Ringer in the 68, not exactly how he wanted to start off this season.
No, and Daytona's always so. I mean, it has its history, but then also too, from a iRacing standpoint, I mean, it also has its ups and its downs. I mean, it's always rolling the dice at Daytona. But with that being said, we are officially on our first green-white checkered.
It was meant to be. It really was. The conversation was had, and it was almost like we knew it was going to happen. So, folks, this is officially, as Jacob just mentioned, that first attempt at the green-white checkered. If the race needs a second attempt, that will be our second and final attempt, as mentioned. So once that green flag waves on the second attempt, and the yellow flag waves before the white, the race is over. But right now, there wasn't much change inside of the top 10, Jacob, so the top 10 essentially stays the same. We do have now Jim Smith into the top 10, John Crosby, Zach Lovelace, Jonathan Burt, Dakota Reeder, Paul White, David Bersecki, Jordan Tross, Jesse Gordon, and Cody Deek is our race leader. And Jacob, I gotta say, this is from the Kentucky Derby on Saturday and the 23-30-1 odds that horse had. I feel like coming into this race, no offense to the 13, but it could have been the same odds. 23-30-1 odds that the 13 was going to win. And I'd have to say he's probably one of the best trucks here tonight. Even if he doesn't take home the checkered flag, he has run one of the best races we've ever seen out of the 13.
Yeah, no, this has been a pretty good race for Cody all night long. I mean, he's been out of the misfits of all the cautions, and then I think he might have gotten into a little bit of a fender bender. I don't recall off the top of my head, but no, Cody's been doing well. He's been pretty aggressive out front. Definitely taking the appropriate lanes or lines to get him out there. And then I do have to say, now I don't know what it's like on the track mic, But it seems like he's been a pretty good pusher as well, in which, I think he's built, some good friends out there on the track currently this evening. But, I mean, now it's, it's every man for himself, in my opinion.
Absolutely, and who will be the man at the end with that checkered flag? As another field goes back to side-by-side action, Cody Deek, Jesse Gordon, Jordan Tross, David Bersecki, Paul White, Dakota Reeder, Jonathan Burt, Zach Lovelace, John Crosby, Jim Smith. And boy, look at that outside lane with Jesse Gordon in the 1-0. You're going to be pushed along by the 92 David Bersecki. The 79 machine of Jordan Tross will go low side with the 13. And what a 2x2 battle that's going to be here on this restart, Jacob. Jesse Gordon, I just talked about not too long ago about how he missed about the first 3 races of the season last year, and that was really the difference at his championship hopes. And now this season, trying to start off this season with a victory to get things right back on track.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can see Jesse being super aggressive out the gate, which, I mean, that's just kind of how Jesse drives. I mean, because he dirt races, and I want to say it's in the late models in real life. So it's just, I mean, he's very big on that bump and run action. So my personal take, again, another airplane landing right there in the background. I see Jesse. I think Jesse's going to end up winning this. That's my Trojan horse of the evening.
Love it. There we go. Got Dakota Reeder right there as well. I think I got to go with Cody Deek. I believe in the 13. I think he's been one of the best trucks all day long. If he can just hold that lane, keep it going here on this restart, he could come home with his checkered flag. That's my dark horse. But we shall see here in just a moment as the iRacing pace lights are off of the iRacing pace truck. We'll wait momentarily for it to pull off. There it goes. This is our first attempt at overtime racing here in the season opener at Daytona as Cody Deek in the 13 gets the field rocking and rolling. Into corner number 1, we're racing in overtime.
Ooh, a little bit of a slow restart from Jesse Gordon at that point. Good push from Jordan Tross, Cody Deek out leading the way, and then shortly behind him you have Paul White, and then Jonathan Burt, Brandon Yates, I do believe, right there. Oh, man, getting a little squirrely right there.
Cody Deek continues to lead. He's down the low side of the racetrack. Jesse Gordon on the high side. He's feeling the push from the 92. David
Jeffrey
Bersecki. Yeah, truck's wrecking into 3 and 4. Big wreck. Huge wreck into 3 and 4. A lot of trucks just outside of the top 10 are wrecking on the apex of 3 and 4. The 10th caution of the night waves as the first overtime comes to an end.
We have one more green-white checkered attempt, and if we go under caution, it's going to be the Cody Deek show tonight.
Wow. As we'll see, maybe your favorite driver was caught up in this. This is quote-unquote the big one at Talladega, just outside of, I believe that's the top 7. And it's going to involve Jeffrey Goodpasture on your screen here. Also the 27 machine. I believe that's Smith right there.
Ooh.
Oh, man. Todd Perrot's going to be collected in this as well.
Oh, yeah. Just go ahead and finish him off. Another car
Brandon
upside
hitting
down.
in the 5. And big pile up.
Right on board.
And for guys that were having great runs, we're going to right on board here with the one of Jeffrey Goodpasture, see exactly what may have happened.
I do believe it just Brandon Hinton got into the back of him. Jeffrey tried to come down. Brandon had his nose right there, and then just
Game over. For the one machine of Jeffrey Goodpasture, we saw him leading that backpack group as you were talking about. had at least a top 10 finish in the cards. He was doing a great job of holding it all together. But unfortunately, his night's probably going to end in the garage with the amount of damage he just suffered there in that wreck. But one guy who is definitely feeling it right now, the 13 machine of Cody Deek. I mean, one of the great performances so far this, just overall. I mean, last year, I'd have to say Cody just struggled throughout the season, bobbed up and down. Every now and then we'd see his name inside the top 10, top 15. I mean, right now he's going to go door to door with last season's champion on this restart. And we'll have some new names right behind him. Paul White, Jesse Gordon, David Bersecki, Jonathan Burt is a new name to call out. Dakota Reeder, John Crosby, Zach Lovelace, Anthony Harden are top 10. Jacob, our last attempt at overtime racing here, as it looks as though we're going to go one more time around Daytona. Boy, I mean, what are we in store for?
I mean, hopefully they can keep it clean these last few laps, but with how aggressive everyone's been this evening, I mean, I can see someone back there in the back getting a little sideways, getting it into the wall, and then, boom, game over.
There's Jesse Gordon in that Batmobile. Get your shot of him on your screen here. Again, happy Cinco de Mayo to all of those at home watching this race live on YouTube here in the Ratfink Racing League. It has had 10 cautions here tonight at Daytona. This is the season opener of season number 3. I'm William Tiller, joined up here by Jacob Williams. Jacob is producer, commentator, working 2 jobs. As the pace lights are going to be coming off of the pace truck here just momentarily. A run through the field here in just a moment. We just covered that top 10. John Crosby's one of our biggest movers. Cody Deek is the biggest mover of the race so far. Just outside of the top 10, we have Anthony Harden, Tom Ringer, Justin Carey, Thomas Wynn currently in 14th, Tony Burleson currently in 15th, Tanner Honeycutt currently in that 16th position.
Ooh, Brandon Henstruck's seen a better day.
Hey, time to get out the duct tape and some hammers, but he's only in the 17th spot. You know, you get up 2 spots, you get a top 15 out of this race. That's not so bad. Tyler Jones, Colton Jackson, Andy Bowman, and Jim Smith is the last truck on the lead lap down in the 21st position. Then after that, you have drivers that wish their seasons probably started on a little bit of a better note. You have Sean Dion a lap down, Todd Perront 2 laps down. Jeffrey Goodpaster, we just saw all these guys involved in that caution. Nate Lesko, Jonathan McIntosh, Zachary Wynn, Cameron Gully, Jim Jackson. Just a lot of names that were hoping for a good kickoff to the season here, Jacob. And unfortunately, it's going to end with the car in the garage in the hauler heading to the next track.
Ooh, there's a decent amount of them that's already headed home this evening and coming back next week to Texas Motor Speedway next week.
Ooh, the great state of Texas. There we go. Everything's bigger in Texas, and I'm sure the action here in the Ratfinger Racing League is going to be even bigger next week. But it is time for our last attempt at some overtime racing here in the season opener. Once the green flag waves, if the caution waves for the white flag, the race is over. But it will be Cody Deek, Jordan Tross, last season's champion, against the last season's wannabe champion in 13. He could start off in the right direction. Cody Deek, Jordan Tross through the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. What a restart out of the 13.
Yeah,
he
good
clears
restart.
into 1 and 2 all by himself, leading in the all black into 1 and 2.
Good for him. That was a heck of a restart right there out the gate. Oh, now that
He's
bottom
doing a great
lane.
job.
Yeah, that bottom lane's coming.
Ooh, he's trying to connect with the 79. Here comes the 25 of Paul White with a big push of David Persecki in the 92. The 2x2 down the racetrack here. Now door to door, the 25 and the 13. They have great help behind them in the 79 and Jordan Tross pushing the 13. The 92 of David Brzezinski's pushing the 25. We're still 2 by 2. Cody Deek still leading the way on the top side of the racetrack. We're still together, still clean as we come off of 4. Jacob, they're coming to you for that white flag as Cody Deek still leads the way.
Yeah, last lap coming down the front stretch now. White flag is out, so every man for himself now.
As the man in black, Cody Deek himself, leads the way as they wreck behind him. That is okay. The race is official right now. The 13 machine still leading. Caution flag hasn't waved. Jordan Tross right there as well. There's the 25 of Paul White. David Brzezinski pushing him on the low side. Cody Deek gets briefly loose off of 2. Keeps it together, though. That's a great drive of the 13. He just has to stay where he's at. Will he be able to hold on as another push comes? Jordan Tross goes to the low side. The 13 goes to block. Oh, my God, they're on the apron. The 13 goes to the high side. He won't have enough to block. The 79 to the low. Jordan Tross with a huge run off of 4. He's going to have a big run out of Jesse Gordon to the 1-0. It will be a race to the line. Who will get it? Jordan Tross. Oh my gosh, what a finish. Jordan Tross wins at the line by a nose. What an absolute crazy finish. Wow.
It's going to be a hot season.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Jordan Tross wins by a nail. I mean, it has to be Jesse Gordon. If he could have reached his hand out and grabbed the catch net of the 79, he would have done everything he had to do. Oh my goodness. He tried everything but wrecking that 79, Jacob, and it just still wasn't enough.
What a finish to the line, ladies and gentlemen. Man, that is awesome. Awesome. Then you got and then you got Paul White getting into the backside of Jesse at that point. What a finish. Jordan Tross, Jesse Gordon, and Paul White. 1, 2, 3 right there, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe we have lost Will momentarily. Let's see if we can get him back.
Crazy race right here, Jacob. Yeah, I was still here. Yep. And I was looking there, I was just looking at the scoring and timing. Cody Deek was the leader on those 2 restarts there, Jacob. He was leading at the drop of the white flag right at the end. Ends up finishing 9th at the end of everything. That's how crazy that last lap was.
Yeah, no, and we'll watch it back too. But yeah, he got out into just kind of by himself a little bit on that coming through 3 and 4 essentially, and just, I mean, it was like the parachute freaking just blew open and just drug him so far back. Let's see if we can get this pulled up really quick. Well, Jordan tried to take that lower. Oh, Jordan got Cody, just barely got him into the back end. He just got him loose, and then he just lost his momentum right there.
Absolutely crazy end to this race. Wow. And Cody Deek, man, I thought the man in black was going to take it home at the very end. Just couldn't find any help. And you see how crazy this racetrack is. He just got flushed out of the entire mix right there.
Yeah.
And before you knew it, the start-finish line was right there. He didn't have any time to make any more moves. Oh, top 10 for the 13. But as the 79 of Jordan Tross is celebrating once again, I don't even think he was able to drink all the champagne from the season championship just a few weeks ago. Now he's back in victory lane once again, gets to replenish that champagne from that season championship. But it is time to catch up with our podium finish. There was a third place finisher in all that calamity there, Jacob, and it's actually a name that we haven't got a chance to speak with, one of those newcomers we were speaking about here tonight. As the driver of the 25 machine, Paul White. You're catching up with him right now.
Paul, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. We got you, Jacob.
Walk us through that last, let's just call it 10 seconds of the race right there. Coming through 3 and 4, everyone essentially just kind of getting loose, tagging one another, and then it's just a dog fight towards the end. Walk us through that.
Yeah, exactly. We were just laughing about it here in the room and stuff. Coming down the back straightaway, everyone knows it's all for themselves basically. I mean, teammates or no teammates, and we were going down there in turn 3, and the bottom line kind of faded back a little bit and gave enough room for Jordan to make his move. And when they came down, all hell was breaking loose, and it was tight racing, and everybody running tight, and little slip up, and we all had to lift a little bit to save it, or we could have took the whole field out. I think it was just great driving by all drivers, everyone involved in that, because if you would have kept your foot in it completely, I think it would have took the field out. But once we made it through 4, it was game on, and I thought I was going to get a run, but I had no choice but to push Jordan to the win. No problem pushing anyone to the win. I know if the shoes was reversed, they would have done the same. But it's all for all, like I say. But hell of a race, man. Hell of a race.
Yeah, no, and that's man, I was having some technical difficulties because we had 43 guys tonight, and typically, I mean, the most on a Daytona race I think I've ever seen a league or like a charity event race is like 30 to 33, and like we typically don't have issues or anything, but man, 43 drivers this evening, and I want to say, Will, how many cautions did we have? Did we have 9?
I believe we had 10.
10.
Yeah, 10 cautions.
I mean, 10 cautions is like, it's a number that I'm not very like proud of, but like also with having 43 drivers on Daytona, like I was really shocked that there wasn't more. So I tip my hat off to you guys, especially, because for a little bit, I was really thinking that we were going to have a green flag run for a while.
Yeah, it's funny you brought that up. I was playing track position. Fortunately, I started, up at the front, and there was that first caution. We had a 10 lap green flag run at the very beginning, and everybody pitted, but me and Jim. That first caution, and I thought, oh hell, because we were going to be sitting ducks because it was showing like a green flag run. But fortunately for me, I guess you could say, it was that was when it started. All the cautions started after that, and I was hoping for green flag, runs, because that's when it can really, separate, nail your pit stops and have a good race. But I didn't anticipate all the cautions either, the way it started out. I mean, like you said, 40 cars, 10 green flag runs, 10 green flag laps, I should say. So I didn't anticipate 9 cautions myself.
Yeah. Well, now, Paul, this is your first race in RFRL, correct?
Actually, my second. I ran one race last season, probably about 6 races before the end of the season.
Gotcha.
I didn't want to get involved in the the points deal. And
Gotcha.
I'm committed this year, obviously, this season for the full run. So
well, Paul, we
I'll be here.
are excited to have you, and congratulations again on your third place finish. And Will, do you have anything for Mr. Paul?
No, Paul, just congratulations on that podium run, and excited to see you in the next race next week.
Absolutely. glad to be here with you guys, and thank you guys in the booth for doing what you do.
Absolutely. And real quick, we always try to do it with everyone, and we didn't tee up the question for you, but any sponsors or anyone that family, friends that need recognition this evening?
Yeah, actually, I want to give a shout out to Jim Smith, Colton, and Jim Jackson. They were actually running. They were teammates of mine tonight. I want to say thank you to Tom and all the guys behind the scene for putting this league on, and obviously you guys up in the booth, for the broadcasting. So appreciate you, Jacob, and Will both. So looking forward to having a good season with you guys, and hopefully this is just the first of many interviews.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you, Paul, as always.
Thank you, sir.
That was the driver of the 25 machine, Paul White. We're excited to have Paul here in this league, and boy, the driving he did here tonight, Jacob, I'm sure we'll waste no time getting to know him this season, possibly with those podium finishes. But a guy that we got to know a little bit towards the end of last season with the run that he made towards that championship, although starting this season 3 races late, still made a run. And here tonight, he is just right back to his consistent ways, speaking with the 1-0 Batman himself, Jesse Gordon. And Jesse, I mean, that last lap, it was almost breathtaking. It just had us speechless up here in the booth. Take us through the season opener at Daytona.
Yeah, I mean, that's as good as I could pretty much hope for with this race and just how crazy and chaotic it gets. And, I think it would have worked out. I saw them drop down to the bottom, and I was hopeful. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to get a run. I got a good couple of guys behind me that are pushing. But then Deke went to block and got loose and almost just completely wrecked all of us. So we luckily skated through, but I had to go up top and lost some momentum. And then I had no pusher help after that. And I was side by side with Jordan somehow still. And I was like, well, only thing I could do is slow him down, or, at least if I'm slightly a nose ahead and I get on his door, then I'll end up winning. But we were just side by side, and I was slowing him down, so I kept second. I probably would have lost second place to third. So, but ultimately it worked out. But just chaos and carnage.
we love to see it, but we don't love to see it with 10 cautions at Daytona. Jesse, when you came off of 4, it looks as though that you wanted to just reach your hand out of the window and grab maybe the catch net of the 79. You were trying everything you could to slow him down on that front stretch. Are you excited about the battles that are in the future between the two of you? Because it feels like last season when you came along, that maybe it was kind of like, who's this new guy? And maybe towards the end of the season, it was like, okay. And then now to start the season, you two are right back where you left off.
Yeah, I mean, we battle hard and we know how to run each other and run these races. So, I think it's as good as I could hope for coming out of Daytona in the top 3, just because normally I get ricked out of these things and finish 20th something, and it's a huge points loss. So with the way things are in this format, I think if I could just keep tabs with him at some of these races and maybe I get lucky and he has bad luck, and then we can make a run at it. But it's going to be a close battle overall.
Jacob, anything for Batman himself coming home second, just one piston short of that checkered flag?
No, the only thing I have to say is, Jesse, as always, glad to have you in the Truck Series League, because someone is going to have to put Jordan on his toes this season so he can't get another championship title in a row.
Yeah, we'll definitely give it a shot and try. It's a lot of fun running this, and looking forward to the next few races and schedule, and see if we can get some wins.
Perfect. Well, as always, Jesse, we always try to give everyone the opportunity for, family, friends, sponsors, a special shout out or recognition that anyone needs on your behalf.
Just my, sponsors who sponsor me in real life is, Cretus Tires, Davis Trenching, Amsoil, United Tint and Wraps, Empire Motorsports, and obviously my wife and my daughter Bristol, who support me and allow me to do this, and you guys for putting on the broadcast.
Well, we appreciate you, Jesse, and we're excited to see you here this season and make that run for the championship, man. It's off to a good start.
Yeah, thank you guys. Looking forward to it.
That was the 1-0 of Jesse Gordon behind the wheel of the Batmobile. Comes up just short. Said if he could have tried to pull off any more moves there at the end, he probably went from second to about fifth or sixth. Good to hear the honesty out of a driver there at the very end, but a good way to hold on for the 1-0. But Jacob, like I said, the champagne probably hasn't even been drunk all the way from that season championship a couple weeks ago. It's probably still in the fridge or the freezer, wherever you put your champagne from a season championship. I wouldn't know because I'm not a season champion. But there is time to make room for some more champagne or beer, seeing as though it's the regular season. It is time to catch up with our first winner of the season, taking home the first checkered flag to kick off season number 3. And it is that man, once again, Jordan Tross. Jordan, take us through what we're starting to hear is a running trend of words of chaos, calamity, just excitement overall. Take us through your point of view.
Yeah, that was a fun race. Started in the back and had to avoid some chaos. I think I tapped Tyler Waltz trying to avoid a wreck at one point. So sorry to him if that gave him some damage. I'll have to go back and watch it. But other than that, had a really clean race. Didn't touch another car basically until that last lap there. Yeah, it was a lot of fun and managed to get to the front on some fuel strategy and just stayed up front for the rest of the race and managed to stay in front of all the chaos.
Not that we want to knock you off the championship totem pole that you won last year, but did you maybe feel like when of course it's the first race of the season, there's anxiousness, there's nerves, there's all sorts of things that play into this first race. Did you feel like the competition level may have went up a notch here to kick off this season? It felt like you had a little bit more pressure from behind from some of these guys.
Yeah, the field is massive. We had 43 people sign up tonight, and there's a lot of competition in here. My goal tonight was just to get to the finish, try to be clean with it, and never had any damage on the truck. And I think I basically did as good as I could have. Jesse and I were side by side there to the line. It was a really close finish, and I was trying to work with Cody Deek as much as I could. And I told him if I had any clear space on the final lap, I'd try to make that move, and man, we almost wrecked it. I'm very glad he saved it and still managed to get a decent finish. Sorry to him if I know he was looking to get that first win, but as soon as I had a clean space to move to the bottom, I was trying to get that win as well.
Bit of racing strips on the right side of that 79 from the 1-0, trying to stop him at the line. Speaking with a race winner, Jordan Tross. And Jacob, as I mentioned, coming off a season championship, kicks off the next season with a victory. Anything for, I'd have to say, one of the most on-fire drivers across all of RFRL.
No, Jordan, I hope one of these guys comes out here and puts you on your toes because, buddy, I love you to death. But, man, there's some times where I'm like, how does Jordan freaking do it? You started in the back. Somehow you got through all the chaos and you still won. But, congratulations, buddy. As always, we love having you. But, man, I was telling Jesse, I was like, I hope you or Dakota can put Jordan on his toes because he needs it once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's a super speedway. There's a lot of luck involved as well. But I think even like Jesse, Dakota, Dave, Paul, Jonathan, we all put ourselves in good spots and made a lot of good moves there at the end, and we all got good finishes to show with it. I mean, that top 10 looks like it could be any track. It might be a super speedway, but it looks like there's a lot of good finishers up at the front.
And Jordan, I gotta say, not only do you take home the checkered flag, it looks as though you'll also take home the biggest mover of the race award as well. Starting from 38th, going all the way up to win the race. Man, just one heck of a drive once again.
Yeah, it was funny. I almost missed the race entirely. I joined and I didn't even have time to qualify, so I didn't even have a chance to set a lap. But it made my first pit stop very interesting. I almost missed the box because I was like the last pit stall on pit road. But I got that figured out and had a clean race after that.
Well, Jordan, you're officially our first winner of the season here in season number 3. Did it in style, I'd have to say, coming up from essentially the tail end of the pack all the way to the front, holding off a late charge to take home the first checkered flag of the season. And I think at this point, I think you won about 6 or 7 times last year. This year, you're kicking off with your first victory. The floor is yours, my man.
Yeah, thank you guys for this broadcast, and thank everyone. Thank you to everyone who runs RatFink. It's a lot of fun, and I did not expect this to be the first win of the season, as static that it is. But you never know what you're getting into at a super speedway, and it could easily end on lap 1, or you could have a great finish right to the end. But thank you to everyone who puts these races on, and thanks to everyone who showed up. It was a really fun race, and overall really clean.
Arc Raider Machine in victory lane once again, folks. He is looking for sponsors of that truck, and with the race victories he has had, it would be a great sponsorship. But we appreciate Jordan taking the time here as that first winner of the season. And Jacob, what a race it was. I don't think me and you got a chance to breathe at all up here in the booth. That race absolutely flew by. There wasn't a moment, I don't think, that was dull or boring at all. There wasn't any moments where we had to think about things to talk about. There were battles all across the racetrack. And essentially when we asked for a caution flag, they flew. We had just a tad too many here tonight, but overall a great way to kick off the season with 43 trucks. And it's right back to where we left off in season number 2 with Jordan taking the victory.
Yeah, no, it's like all the guys are saying, 43 guys on the track. I mean, that's it's a pretty hefty number, again, 10 cautions, but 11 different, leaders at that point. I mean, it was definitely an interesting race, but we shall see how it's all going to shake up at Texas Motor Speedway next week, because that's whenever you'll really start being able to see, who's going to be the big dogs this season. Even though Jordan did get his get a win this week, but like he had said during his interview, super speedways, typically it's all about luck. Yeah, it's how how can you make it through the chaos at that point, but then from there. It's, going into week 2, you're at I'd say, kind of more of an intermediate track. So it's going to really start dictating, who's going to be out to battle Jordan for that championship title.
Boy, I'm excited to see, and I can't wait for Texas Motor Speedway next week. And folks, if you want to follow along, you can always hit that like and subscribe button on our YouTube page, or head on over to RFRLleague.com and follow along the league at the website, and to follow along with all your favorite driver stats, wins, race history, everything. Go ahead and head on over there right after this. But it is time for your official results here in race number 1 of season number 3. As Jacob just mentioned, we talked to our podium finishers of Jordan Tross, Jesse Gordon, and Paul White, one of those new names to watch out for here this season. Another newcomer right behind Paul, with Jonathan Burt finishing in 4th. David Bersecki does get his top 5. Great way to kick off the season for the 92. Dakota Reeder comes home 6th. Zach Lovelace comes home just in that 7th position. We have John Crosby 8th. Cody Deek 9th, and Anthony Harden is our top 10. After that, we have Mr. Consistent in the 11th position, Tom Ringer. Tanner Honeycutt comes home 12th. Tony Burleson 13th. Andy Bowman 14th. Brandon Hinton comes home with a top 15 finish. Thomas Wynn just outside of the top 15, finishing in the 16th position. 17th spot belongs to Tyler Jones. Ismael Lopez finishes 18th. Justin Carey 19th. Colton Jackson 20th. And then the last truck that finishes on the lead lap, that will be Jim Smith in the 21st position. Then after that, Jacob, it is just a long list of drivers that wish their nights had a better outcome, and I'll just briefly run through it here. We have the likes of Sean Dion, Jeffrey Goodpaster, Todd Perront, Nate Lesko, Jonathan McIntosh, Colton Miller, Cameron Gully, Jim Jackson, Zachary Wynn, Brandon Yates, Will Weber, Brent Thompson, Tyler Waltz, Ronald Hall, Matt Morrison, Tony Brent, Brandon Schumann, Daniel McConnell, David Hickey, David McConnell, Victor Etheridge, and Herb Lee Telemique is our 43rd truck on the racetrack, and all those drivers are going to be finishing multiple laps down, caught up in some of the 10 cautions we had here tonight, Jacob. And once again, though, great way to kick off the season, man. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up here on a Cinco de Mayo Tuesday?
Final thoughts are, if our track size or our field size keeps on being 43, anywhere between 40 to 43 guys again, Mr. Producer is going to have to go buy a new computer, because I don't know if we're going to be able to keep up. But no, it was a great show out. It was a great race, great finish, and as always, a heck of a performance, from all the guys that raced with us this evening. It's I'm looking forward to the season coming up, especially with some of the big names. I know Dakota was on the fence about racing consistently. I did Jesse as well, but now, John Crosby was always out towards the front, Mr. W himself. All the time, but now with some of these other big names, he's kind of sliding back towards the back of the top 10 essentially. But with that, it just comes to show of how much competition is out there this season, and that's the one thing that I'm all here for is it's racing hard, racing clean, but also it's just putting on a show at the end of the day.
Dude, it was an absolute show. It was at the start-finish line. I'm excited to go back and watch that final. See how excited I got for that ending. Boy, I can't wait for Texas. Sort of the same layout, but more familiar to Charlotte, Atlanta. That sort of race that we're going to be in store for next week. But we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight on a Tuesday night, spending your Tuesday night with us here in the Ratfink Racing League. And once again, it is a huge congratulations to Jordan Tross picking up the first victory of the season here in season number 3. It is always a bummer to leave the beautiful racetrack that is Daytona International Speedway here in the great state of Florida. We head to the great state of Texas next week. Make sure to stay tuned for that. Stay tuned to the Next Gen race on Thursday night as well. We'll be back here live, 9:40 Eastern Standard Time. Well, once again, we want to appreciate you spending the time. Thank you for all of our new drivers that took the track here tonight. Excited to see some new names rise to the top as the season plays out. But it is a familiar name at the top here tonight. Jordan Tross, the 79, takes home the first victory of the season. But for all of us here at the Ratfink Racing League, myself, William Tiller, the man always working 2 jobs, commentating and producing, got us through those tech issues, got us back on the racetrack, and showed us that incredible finish. My man doing everything up here in the booth. We want to wish everybody a great night, a happy Cinco de Mayo, and we'll catch you back here Thursday night for the Next Gen Series. All right, everybody, welcome once again to the Ratfink Racing League on Tuesday night. My name is William Tiller. I am joined up here in the booth by Jacob Williams.
Drivers, start your engine!
Hi, Bond Man, fellas, so have a good day today. Like I said, load all the fans, and thank you guys for coming out here. We got a great crowd today. Everybody listening at home. Leave home out there. Everybody enjoy the race. Get it all run all day long. Get ready to go. Good feeling about today, guys. Stay focused, be smart. You guys been doing a great job out there. Really on the outside. Look for nothing other than the rest of the race.
We're short track racing here on a Tuesday night. And we are thundering and lightning into corner number 1 as this race kicks off officially. Oh no! Big impact to the 6 of Victor Etheridge in the top side wall. Tonight we are warm and toasty in Homestead, Miami Speedway, the 305. Ooh, you see damage and scrape that topside wall. It's time to go racing once again in the Rat Tank Racing League as Jordan Tross in the 79 takes us into corner number 1. Action starting to pick up here off of 2. Oh my goodness, as the machine comes off of 2. It's time for the Tuesday night Rat Tank Racing League.